Very nice recovery today and very nice bounce from that bottom side. Although I was expecting a drop to around that 480 to 430 realm, we ended up bouncing from an earlier spot. And I think I have the answer why, but let's just see how long that can actually last. Welcome back to the channel. This is ARCa. Let's dive into ticker symbol FNGR. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again on, let's see. What the heck am I missing the day already, man? On this Taco Tuesday. Jeez, I thought it was already Hump Day Wednesday. I wanted to say Hump Day, but no, you guys, it's Taco Tuesday, right? And let's go ahead and go over first the ARQ algorithms, right? So I want to point out something today. This is intraday here, right? This entire thing on the 1 minute chart. And what you're looking at here is, I can actually block the visibility for enhanced MACD real quick. And what you're looking at here is composure, the algorithm that tells us when the market is being manipulated. So I want you to notice right over here, right? We got a manipulation signal after this drop, which was very curious because, let's see how far of a downside we ended up getting after that. Not much at all. Yeah, so around a 2% drop. But what was curious to me is actually this drop. I felt like this manipulation signal came in for an upside recovery, right? And then price action started to reject again after we touched 589 about 2 times today. And then we got another manipulation signal right at the last trading. This was the last 2 minutes of the trading session, right? So right upon that manipulation signal, price action dropped to 551 and then immediately recovered to 561 and then ended up closing right at about 558, right? So very curious, as after this manipulation signal, we started getting an upside here, eventually closing at $5.69 in the post market, right? So now let's go ahead and take a look at the enhanced MACD against price action, right? So this is essentially volatility versus momentum packaged in one indicator, and it also gives you bear and bull signals, right? So a whole strategy within one, and also the entirety of my thesis built into one simple indicator, right? So I want to point out here that the minute time frame has a bull signal fired with an upside pivot and expansion happening. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 5-minute time frame. 5-minute time frame also has a bull signal with expansion happening, right? Meaning that the Bollinger Bands are starting to expand from each other. So this is Bollinger Bands representing volatility and momentum using the MACD momentum, right? So yeah, very, very clean price action happening here. The thing that we want to see is that you see how the momentum has a longer distance from every dot, and it starts to get closer and closer as we start to contract and contract even harder. It gets into really close proximities, just like it does here. So upon expansion, you're going to notice that the dots are going to start separating from each other. So the further apart they separate from each other, that's how hard the expansion phase is actually coming in, right? So this was just this expansion that you saw here. We got a bull signal printed right at the first minute candle here, and this thing just said bull, and then it had a sell right up here. So if we were to have trade based on the enhanced MACD strategy, then we would have gotten this play. Okay, so let's see, bull signal printed right over here, right? And the bear signal was printed right at the opening of this. 13 spot, 60% move to the upside using the 5-minute enhanced MACD. Okay, so not bad whatsoever. Okay, so let's go ahead and now move on to the next chart, as these indicators are still showing us some very unique results regarding the trade, right? So guys, I must warn you that my little guy is not the happiest guy in the world right now, and he may come in and co-host, but he's probably going to be a big bear. Hey, baby. How you doing, buddy? I know you're unhappy. I'm almost done. All right. So, yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next chart. Hey, baby boy. Yeah, you want to see these real quick? Sorry, you guys. Let's go ahead and restore the connection right here. Take a look at these. Whoa. Okay. So now coming back into the daily chart triple witching, I want you to notice. I want you to notice right over here, just that we ended up saying that what was it? We had a red Friday, and we thought that we were going to have a green Monday, right? Based on the probabilities. So this iteration right here was a green Monday, right? This is the green Monday right here, and the red Friday right before that. So right over here, right? This is the green Monday, and we had a red Friday right before that. So these are the reasons. Hey, baby, these are the reasons we thought that we were going to be able to have a red, a red Friday into a green Monday, but unfortunately we ended up getting a Tuesday that was green. Okay, hey baby, hold on, buddy. I know, I understand. Guys, it may be a little difficult here, team, but let's go ahead and continue on the analysis. All right. So yeah, that was the reason why we were thinking. Hold on, baby, hold on. That's the reason why we were thinking that we were going to be able to capture ourselves with a green. With a green, my goodness, my wife just got here too. Sorry, guys. Still going insane in here. All right. So anyway, now that we got that out of the way, we're getting a green Tuesday. Could it be the reversal point? I'm not sure. We had a 60% probability that we would get the entire reversal entirely, right? But I can't tell you if this is going to continue onwards and upwards, right? So, I guess we're just going to have to be reactive to the data. Remember one thing tomorrow. We're also, baby, hold on. Tomorrow we're going to end up getting the Fed, right? The Fed is going to speak regarding the rate hikes. So that's going to impact our price action quite a bit. So meaning that if we do go into 25 BIP, right? If they say that we're going to definitely do that, the SPY and the broader markets are essentially going to sell off instantly. So if that sell off happens, then we're going to have some trouble with everything, right? So, everything that faces a quick little flash sell-off, when the broader markets face a flash sell-off, that kind of gives everything under the sun some pressure to the downside too. And I know that we've mentioned before that FNGR does have the power to kind of decouple from the broader markets, and that's still a fact. The problem is when it's immediate, it's when it actually couples, right? So, it just... the broader markets do have that overall influence, right? It's going to happen like that. If it is that they do increase that rate hike, right? So let's go ahead and continue on the analysis here. This is the 4-hour time frame. And I wanted to point out here that we closed the 4-hour bullish engulfing. So we had that run to about $5.89. Then we came back down and built this bullish engulfing here. And then we continued on. Oh man, this guy is really not happy. Anyway, so let's go ahead and continue on this because this is already a signal. Hold on, buddy. This is already a signal for a potential upside continuation, right? Hold on just a sec, buddy. Just a sec. I'm so sorry, you guys. So anyway, so now this zone here in the live trade, I'm not sure if you remember that I was speaking of a potential 4-hour, or I would say maybe it was best that we got 8 hours of it, but we were waiting for a 4-hour closure upside of the $5.61 support, and we ended up getting one, right? So I do like it. It is a confirmation for a continuation to the upside. However, I would like to see a closure clean outside of the 561 resistance. Right, so if we can close a candle without a body, without the wick inside of this range, that would be highly ideal for us to validate and confirm a continuation to the upside. Now, I do have a thesis here for you. So this is a 12-hour pennant, and it's built, during an upside. So which means that this, in all essence, would be a continuation formation. Right, so we broke out, went all the way to 797. We came back and we're starting to validate and validated that newly converted resistance into support. So if this is the upside that we're going to be getting as a reversal, then I guess, sure, maybe it's already going to start suggesting a break of market structure, right? So maybe this is that actual breakout signal for us to continue onwards and upwards, right? So we already met two of the targets. So the psychological targets, right? The one being from the breakout, trend line from the breakout, right? Meaning that you take a trend line from, I'll just show you real quick, right? Like this, right? You take a trend line from the breakout candle, the one that doesn't have a body inside or a wick, right? You measure the top side of the triangle or the bottom side, and then you apply it to that breakout zone. And then you get a topside target, of which you can see that we've already faced a couple times, 709, right? Now, this one right over here is $7.68, which was the center of the triangle. Of course, we already met that. We already met that. Baby, hey, hold on, buddy, hold on. Okay, so now, guys, I'm sorry. Hold on just a quick sec, just a moment. We'll get this moving. James, hold on, buddy, hold on. All right, okay, so the next target that we're looking at here is $7.97. Hold on, team, hold on. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Let's go ahead and continue on right here. Just this guy, I don't know what's going on, but he's extremely unhappy. Anyway, so, all right, the next target that we had was $7.68, followed by that top side of $7.97, right, that we ended up getting before the sell-off. So if this in fact is the reversal point, then price action would essentially say that it wants to validate the support in order for it to make the next upside target. It's a pretty high target, I have to admit myself, right? $9.85 is kind of, in essence, it's still a little bit out of the question right here, because facing this type of sell-off would only get any type of uprun here to have a take profit from someone who's in fear of it continuing to the downside, right? Which is, it's normal. It's normal that it would face pressure like this. Now, the idea here is to, if the bulls are really, in control here, then the entire idea here would be to continue accumulating as this goes, right? So maybe that's the case, but I don't know. The thing is that we're facing the rate hike decision tomorrow, and that is critical for a lot of assets. Okay, so now I have another thesis here for you. So I know that I'm viewing this on the bi-hourly chart, but I think I could even squeeze this into the hourly, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you something, right? So I'm noticing that a lot of people are copying my I'm noticing that a lot of people are copying my strategies, and they're not even giving me credit, right, for things that no one has seen before, but I'm the only one that's calling them, right? So it's really interesting that you won't even say credit to ARCa Bulls for this, right? So it's just like you are taking my you're taking my thesis here, and you're like just straight running it for yourself. Like, it's all good, whatever. But I'm gonna go ahead and point out some more here. There's just so we can go ahead and start that trend, right? I'll be the trendsetter here. So let's go ahead and notice here that this is yet again a buy formation breakout prep, right? So this is a descending broadening wedge with of course, the inverse head and shoulders, right? So now this is a very common breakout prep, and I've already pointed it out to you guys several times, and this being the other time in a macro scale right over here. You guys are not unfamiliar with this formation here. This is a descending broadening wedge right here, macro scale. This is bi-weekly, okay? The one that we were looking at just a little bit earlier is in fact in the hourly time frame, okay? So 1 hour candles here, and moving on to this chart over here, 2 week candles here, okay? So I want to just go ahead and show you how often this happens, okay, in any time frame. So this is the descending broadening wedge, right? We have the shoulder here, head and shoulder, leading up to a potential target that can go up to a target that I'm not going to really talk about here, right? So I just started noticing this going around the social platforms today, right? But yeah, it's originally called out by me, and this is how I came up with my target of around $30. Definitely don't want to speak about those targets right now, as you know that this can present some negative price action too, right? So in the hourly time frame, yeah, similar situation here. We have an inverse head and shoulders coming up, and there is a potential for us to gain a top side here. So let's go ahead and just take into consideration our regression line, right? So in other words, the neckline, right? So that could be the neckline right over here. We take a trend line from the bottom side of the formation here to the top side of the neckline, and then we apply this to the top side of the shoulder, which would be in essence right over here, right? And that would lead to a target very confluent to this resistance that or support that we were observing just for some time, 699 to 706. Now, it's also very curious. Well, I mean, the target for this is actually a 695, right? But it's very curious that it would suggest for us to come up to that target. Why? Because that would be a perfect area for us to resist and then to come back and start validating. Let me go ahead and get rid of this here. So this is what I mean, right? Let me just go ahead and draw it on like this. So we would essentially, resist here, bounce off of one of these waves over here, come right to the top side, resist from this area, then start validating the newly converted resistance into support. Then we would continue on to the upside and eventually meet, depending on sentiment, of course, right? We would then come back and meet the take profit, which would be at about $7.81 per the trading book rules of this formation, right? So yeah, that's the play that's currently happening right now. So if you are taking from my thesis, go ahead and show some courtesy and say that this is inspired by ARCa bulls or something. Come on, man. Like, we're looking. All right. So I noticed I'm noticing a bunch of analysts do this now. I mean, it's all good. Whatever, I'm happy that I'm inspiring here, man, but without a single word or thank you, like, that's cool. But anyway, check it out. This is the bi-weekly silver cross happening right now. And this was something that I called out yesterday too, that it's interesting that we're getting this silver cross with a downside. So it's really good for us to recover here all the way up to that 5.69 zone into the after hours, right? So, and now this was also something that we pointed out in the live, and we noticed that there was a regression here, right? So in other words, this is where we got the inspiration for the pennant that we looked at as the first chart. So yeah, we got that breakout, came back over here. We were able to determine that this would likely be the area for us to find support right at the 50%, of course, right? And then we bounced to the upside. So now the idea here is to find out, is to see how long this is going to last. Right, so it's going to be a little bit of a difficult run here. Looking at the RSI right now, it looks like we have several resistances in the way, which is only natural for price action, right? But again, you guys, I apologize for having my son be a little bit unhappy. He was not the greatest host today, right? But some days you have it, some days you don't. And today was just particularly a very difficult day, right? So technical issues during the live stream, lots of haters and lots of shows coming up in there trying to show up their words or something. And it's funny how, like, they would only talk when there's like a specific penny that FNGR would be under. But then when it moves on top of that, then they shut up, right? So that's kind of what I want from them, is just to, like, shut up, keep your mouth shut. Right, because just yesterday they were talking about a $2 target, and in fact this thing ran like 90 cents today to the upside. So where are you? Where are those targets at? So go ahead and @ me on Twitter right now and let me know how that went for you today. Right, since you bought all those puts, right? I want to know. You know what? If you had the balls, put up your P&L. Let's see how well it did. I want to see how you did today. Right, getting those short positions open. Let's see how good you did. I want to know. I'm really curious. But you know what? I opened my exposure on Friday, didn't I? Right? So I'm still long. I'm still good. But yeah, so cheers to you for on that huge miss today, right? So I think you need to do your homework a little more. I think you need to do some more studying here, some more due diligence before starting to call out influencers and saying that the downside is coming in, calling $2 and the thing runs $1 up. Right, so just shows that you really don't know what you're doing, right? So, but yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and finish off with this. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. But the bashers, apparently, they could. They're telling you to sell. They're telling you that it's going to go down, right? The bashers, they got the license. But no, ARCa Bulls does not. All right, you guys, but with that said, I wish you well, a very good night, and I'll catch you at the bell mañana. Adios. Post that P&L, bashers. Let me see it. Yeah.